So early this morning, Trump took to Twitter to announce a new policy concerning transgendered individuals in the military. After consultation with my generals and military experts, please be advised that the United States government will not accept or allow transgender individuals to serve in any capacity in the US military. Our military must be focused on decisive and overwhelming victory and cannot be burdened with the tremendous medical costs and disruption that transgender in the military would entail. Thank you. So this would actually reverse an Obama policy that was put in last year that put protections on transgendered individuals in the military. So you'd think that Trump would have a strong grasp on this policy. Otherwise, why come out and announce this? Well, when he was asked about it later at the White House, this is how he reacted.
How did you decide your policy on transgender people in the military?
You go ahead. She's very rude.
So apparently it's rude to simply ask a question about a new policy that you yourself had just announced earlier on in the day. And really the reason why he reacted this way is because he has no ideology. He has no idea about this policy and its actual effects on people or on the military. And like so many policies before, Trump has been on both sides of this issue as well. This is what he said last year during the RNC.
As your president, I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens from the violence and oppression of a hateful foreign ideology. Believe me.
But to be fair, Trump only said that he would defend them from a hateful foreign ideology, not a hateful domestic one. But what do other Republicans think about this? While some do support it, this is a statement that John McCain put out. There is no reason to force service members who are able to fight, train, and deploy to leave the military, regardless of their gender identity. We should all be guided by the principle that any American who wants to serve our country and is able to meet the standards should have the opportunity to do so, and should be treated as the patriots they are. So, credit to John McCain where it's due. Even though he had a disastrous yes vote on the healthcare bill to discuss the repeal of Obamacare yesterday, he's at least on the right side of this issue. But how did another certain Republican feel? How about a certain transgendered celebrity Republican? After Trump's announcement, this is what Caitlyn Jenner tweeted. Quoting Donald Trump, she said, "There are 15,000 patriotic transgender Americans in the US military fighting for all of us. What happened to your promise to fight for them?" And this follows a long line of Republicans that are only able to empathize when an issue personally affects them. So, while Trump is being hypocritical on a number of other subjects, when it came to a transgendered issue, she finally understood that, wow, Trump isn't actually representing me, and he's actually playing both sides. But now, what are the actual facts? Are there really tremendous costs associated with transgendered people in the military, as Trump claims? Well, this is what an article in Broadly says. Trump's suggestion that transgender military personnel burden the military with undue financial strain is factually unfounded. Research by the Rand Corporation into this very subject has shown that the medical expenses associated with trans people in the military are negligible. Medical care for trans military personnel is estimated to have a marginal impact on healthcare costs and the readiness of the force. This does great harm to people who simply want to serve their country, and have been doing so with distinction and without disruption to our mission, said Bryn Tannell, a former lieutenant commander and trans woman who served in the US Navy for more than a decade. And Stat News backed up those claims. A September 2015 study published in the New England Journal of Medicine reached similar cost estimates. The overall estimated cost to the Pentagon, $4.2 million to $5.6 million. What the study's author called little more than a rounding error in the military's $47.8 billion annual healthcare budget. Okay, so why is Trump doing this? It seems like such a ridiculous, random thing to bring up. And you know what? I wish I had an answer, but I don't. Because Trump has no ideology. As we've seen, he's been on many sides of practically every issue. He doesn't understand or care about policy. All his positions change depending on who he's talking to at that time, or whatever story he saw on Fox News that day. So, it's hard to really gauge where he's going to go next, because it all depends on who's talking to him and what he's watching on TV. But the one tweet I want to show you here that kind of sums up everything nicely is a tweet from the Canadian Forces, who after Trump's announcement said, "We welcome Canadians of all sexual orientations and gender identities. Join us. #diversity is our strength. Canada, you win again."